Alright, so I'm going to be showing how to open up and disassemble, I believe this is a Razer Blade 15 2021. Product number is RZ09-0367CEC3. Alright, we're going to be using a T5 or Torx 5 screwdriver to remove the screws from the bottom. The customer told me that it's overheating and shutting off. So we're gonna have to see what's going on. I think they said they actually changed the fans on here, so yeah. Anyways, you want to keep the screws in order because they can be different size, shape, and lengths. The way I do that is I put them flat side down like that on my desk in the pattern I remove them. So you got 4 going along the back where the hinges are, 1 on either side here, and then 4 more going along the front. Alright, if this video helps you out, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. And if it helps you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. Alright, if you can't help out that way, it would help a lot if you could watch a few of my other videos and then like and comment on those as well, because that's what the algorithm likes to see. Other than that, let's go ahead and continue removing all these screws and then get the bottom cover off. If this is like all the other Razer blades I've worked on so far, the bottom cover will come off very easily once we get all these screws out. So hopefully this one's the same. The fans do look super clean, so if it's not a thermal paste issue, then it's going to be some sort of hardware issue, and that's not going to be good. But yeah, let's go ahead and get all these screws out. Okay, now we've got all the screws out. Let's go ahead and pop the cover. You can see we can just kind of lift and pull it. And yeah, there's also thermal pads here that kind of help with the cooling. It looks like this model is designed kind of weird. Oh, this battery's kind of going bad. So the battery on this looks like it's kind of going bad. It's kind of inflated here. Usually if it's inflated like that, it's gonna have some issues. Whoa, what are these little pieces coming out? There's random little pieces of plastic here falling out. I'm not sure where that's coming from or where that came from. Probably the bottom cover. Wow, this heatsink is like this whole big piece. I don't know, it looks like there was some liquid spill or something here. So I have a feeling cleaning up the thermal paste and everything's not gonna fix it. Yeah, it definitely looks like there was either some spill or something got damaged here. Okay, I can see the fans they replaced. But yeah, I guess we'll remove the heatsink and take a look. Here you can see the battery model number is RC30-0248. Alright, it's a 5209 milliamp hour 80 watt hour battery, 15.4 volts. Alright, limited charge to 17.6 volts. Alright, anyways, let's go ahead and get this thing disconnected. And yeah, it looks like they tried to remove the battery and messed up a bunch of tabs. Let's go ahead and get a thumbnail here. Alright, we're going to switch over to JIS1 or PH1 screwdriver. Okay, it looks like they tried to upgrade a bunch of stuff here. So yeah, let's go ahead and just remove the battery and see if we see anything in here that can be worked on. Since we're going to be pulling the whole heatsink out, we do need to take out the battery. You can just disconnect it by lifting that connector up, but we're going to remove the entire thing. Just to take a look underneath and see if there's anything else that's going on weird here. Alright, the customer didn't mention anything about spilling on it, but from looking at it, it looks like something was spilled on it. Alright, this screw's stuck. Okay, there we go. Alright, I don't know if there's any other hidden screws. There might be. I'm going to actually disconnect the battery right now, so I'm just going to get under there with my fingernail and basically pop that connector up. We're going to now open this laptop and then press and hold the power button for about 15 seconds to drain any residual power. Alright, this makes it a lot safer to work on, especially if you're going to mess with the LCD LVDS connector, which we have to mess with to get the heatsink out. Alright, so I'm going to hold it for a few more seconds. There we go. Alright, so I have a feeling that there's screws hidden under here for the heatsink. Let me actually zoom in a little bit here. Okay, we're gonna remove this screw as well. It looks like we need to switch over to a J0 or PH0 screwdriver. Okay, and we'll undo that. And what in the world? Okay, what is going on with this? There's this weird bracket here. Okay, and then they put some kind of whatever this little shim is. This is supposed to be longer, it looks like, but somebody like cut it? What is going on? Alright, there's an SSD here and another SSD underneath. So this looks like some aftermarket janky job. I don't know. Okay. Doesn't look like there's anything else here, so let's try and lift this battery out. Okay. And here's the battery. I don't know if this was aftermarket or what. Looks kind of weird. Alright, there's a stick of RAM here and a stick of RAM here. Oops, sorry, I'm going out of view. I might not be able to, but there's 2 sticks of RAM here. Let's see, I'm going to go ahead and disconnect the LCD LVDS connector here. We're going to flip this latch up. And then once we do that, we can actually pull this connector out. You might have to be careful, just kind of slowly, carefully wiggle it. There we go. And we're going to, oh, there's another connector under here. So we're going to flip this latch up as well. And then we can go ahead and kind of lift that. Man, they put some adhesive here. Let me actually zoom out because we're going to have to see everything at once. We're going to slowly, carefully peel this up. Be very careful with this. You don't want to damage it. According to this is the camera CH520 underscore RGB underscore FPC underscore camera. So whatever camera and RGB lighting probably. Right, we're going to carefully peel this up underneath as well. There's some tape here holding it down onto the heatsink. Okay, jeez, I don't know if this is going to. Is this like that? It's on top of this, and there's screws hidden under here, so you do have to peel this all up, and you want to be careful not to bend the heatsink here. Right, we can now flip this backwards. And now we have access to 8 screws here, which hopefully will give us access to the removing the whole heatsink. Anyways, I forgot. We're gonna go ahead and look at the RAM. We're gonna pull these 2 tabs aside. Pops up, and these are both Kingston. I don't know what the speed and everything is, but you can look it up. KF432S20. IBK2/64. So this is a 64 gig set. So 232 gigs. I'm assuming this is DDR5 RAM. I don't have any DDR4 to compare to, but I'm assuming it's DDR5 because I don't think they have 32 gig sticks of DDR4. All right, there's the BIOS CMOS RTC real-time clock battery there. It's a tiny one. It is a ML1220. Okay, it says rechargeable. All right, what else we got? Wireless card here, speaker, one little speaker here, one little speaker here. Okay, you got a little connector there. There's not really much to work on after removing those. You got all these connectors. These are for the keyboard going into this control board, and then you got all these other connectors probably for touchpad and other things, and then yeah, it connects to the motherboard here. I'm not going to take everything out, so we're not going to see. You got this little LED cable that goes to the light in the front here. Alright, but anyways, let's go ahead and take this out. Oh, I gotta switch back. Make sure to switch back to the PH1 or JIS1 screwdriver to undo these. Okay, and these spring screws actually just come out, so make sure again to keep them in order. Man, I wasn't expecting it to look so bad inside here with that weird SSD thing and all that other stuff, but again, we'll see. 8 screws. Okay, let's see if we can pop this up. Usually this is going to be a bit difficult to lift up because the thermal, are they hiding a screw under here? I think they're hiding a screw under here. Yep, there's one screw hidden under there. Make sure to remove that as well. Jeez. Good thing I didn't just try and pry it up. Okay, so let's see if now we can lift. I'm going to lift starting from here. Be very careful because the paste and stuff causes it to stick down. So we're just going very slow and wiggling it, as you can see. Alright, you don't want to try and lift this quick because you don't want to bend this whole thermal heat sink, heat pad, whatever thing this is, whatever you want to call it. You can see it's stuck really strong on there. I don't know if we're going to be able to get this out. Are they hiding screws underneath here too? Okay, looks like there's a screw here as well. So let me move these screws over a little bit because the cables are hitting them. Sorry. Because this dumb design with this cable back here. Alright, I got that. We got a screw all the way up here. Oops, sorry, not that one. Actually, I need to remove that one as well. Let's just remove both just in case. So you got a screw there and possibly here. I don't know if that one's part of it, but we're gonna remove it anyways. Oh yeah, that one's probably not part of it. Alright, and then underneath the antennas here, we got another screw hiding. Okay, and yeah, I don't think we need to remove that other one. I think, yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna put this other longer screw back where I got it, right here. And let's see if we can somehow lift the heatsink up. I'm gonna get the wireless antennas to go underneath this piece so we can kind of lift it all the way. Okay, again, you don't want to just yank this thing out. You can see it's gonna like bend if you do that. So we're gonna slowly, carefully keep working our way, kind of wiggling it. If the paste is completely dried on there, then we're pretty much gonna be screwed. I don't know how you would remove this. Sometimes rotating it and twisting it a bit helps. Like you can see how it kind of twists a little bit. Okay, because that loosens the paste. So let's see if we can now lift it. It's still being very difficult, but I feel at least this side's up. This side is not. The GPU side has too much stuff here. Okay, I'm gonna try and wiggle it some more side to side, or twisting it, rotating it. Let's see if I can pull it up while rotating it. I don't know if you can see the slight wiggling that's going on. It's kind of lifting, but not quite. Let's try and lift this side and wiggle this side. Yeah, this is, I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna be able to get this out. It's stuck so strong in there. Jeez. Come on. Oh, there we go, it's coming. You can see it's lifting up some. Okay, let's try and lift from this side as well. Wiggle. While I'm wiggling, I'm just pulling up. Come on. Jeez, this thing is stuck in there so strong. I can hear it like pulling the whole motherboard. Or something, I don't know, I hear something releasing. Oh, I think, is it coming up? There we go, it's lifting. Okay, there we go. Alright, and now we got this up. We can flip this over. You can see all the thermal paste and pads here. I don't think it's burnt up. The problem is this is the CPU and it's showing like 100 degrees Celsius. The fins here look clean enough that it shouldn't be causing any issues. So I don't know if the liquid damage is causing that. We're gonna have to clean all this stuff off and then see if putting it back together, if we're gonna have any luck. Okay, there's a bunch of like dust here. Again, I think it has to do with liquid damage. Like, you see this? That's like liquid. And then you got all these like crumbs of stuff here. I don't see any like corrosion stuff on it. So I don't know, it could be just some components are fried there. Interesting. I'm trying to look all over the board to see if I see any corrosion. The problem is it could also be underneath the board. This thing looks kind of crusty. See that? Crusty stuff. It's kind of going onto this cable here. I'm worried that it's like a dead motherboard. Anyways, we're gonna clean off the old paste. Okay, usually the best way to do that is it. So get a paper towel, and I'm gonna use this to kind of scrape it up first. Okay, let's zoom in. All right, so we're gonna try and scrape off. Oh yeah, it's pretty crusty on there. See that? It's pretty dry. That's not good. So it's supposed to be like a liquidy or a paste, like oil paints. All right. But this stuff is like crusted. It's not completely crusted, but it was pretty crusty. Okay, so we're gonna get that and then toss that stuff. And we gotta clean up all this old paste. Usually I'll actually flip the whole computer upside down over a trash can, so when I scrape this, it just falls in. So I'll probably do that in a bit once I get most of this stuff out. And then I'll also use a toothbrush to clean it up a bit better. Okay, we got that. Oop, see? This stuff will like start falling everywhere. So make sure you get all of that out. And we have to also scrape it off the heatsink as well. Okay, got most of it off. Alright, so same thing with the heatsink. We're going to reuse the thermal pads, but the paste, we got to scrape it all off and then put some new stuff. Okay, you can see this stuff is like hard and crunchy. That's not good. Alright. But I'm not 100% sure that's going to fix the issue. It depends if it's just an issue of the paste not being good. If it's an issue of the like hardware being damaged from liquid, then this isn't gonna fix the problem, but we'll try. Alright. Okay, so now that we got that, we're gonna use some isopropyl alcohol to clean the residue, but first let's go ahead and just use some dry paper towel to wipe off some of this. Okay. Same thing over here. Alright, so for the most part it's gone. We're going to use isopropyl alcohol to clean the rest, but let's go ahead and clean this as well a little bit. Again, I'm going to have to flip this upside down over a trash can, so I'm going to do that part off camera to try and clean up the rest. I'm going to use a toothbrush and then just kind of brush it away. Alright, let me do that real quick and I'll be back. Alright, here you can see it's a lot cleaner now. Now what we're going to do, we're going to get some paper towel with some isopropyl alcohol, as I mentioned earlier. Alright, I got this little kind of syringe type thingy. Alright, and we're just going to put some on there. Alright, and then we're going to use that to kind of wipe off the excess. You don't really need to worry too much about the outer edges here. I mean, if you want, you can kind of clean it up a little bit, but the main thing is the center here. I can feel the crustiness. It's not really coming off well. Right, clean this as well. Try that off. Yeah, whatever's on there, I don't know, it's permanently stuck, so I don't know. I hope it's gonna work. All right, we're gonna get the heatsink and we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna clean this stuff off. All right, you can see it's a lot cleaner there. All right, and then this portion as well, the GPU side. All right, I'm gonna put a little bit on here. Get the clean side of the paper towel, and again, just gonna try and clean that up. All right, so there we go. Next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna put some new thermal paste on there. So let's set this aside. All right, and you don't need a crazy amount of thermal paste. It spreads super, super thin. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and do this. This one, because it's the CPU is long and wide, we have to put kind of like a long, wide thing. Okay, so we're gonna go along. Make sure there's not much dust there. Okay, so we're gonna just put a long, wide thing like that. It's actually a lot more than necessary. We can put the excess there. And then when we put the heatsink on top, it's going to spread it super thin, so you don't need to put a crazy amount. It will spread. Okay, kind of like an extra long grain of rice. Hopefully I'm not blocking the view too much. All right. Hopefully you can see that. All right, and then this one's gonna need a dot in the center. Again, you don't want a crazy amount, but it's gonna smush super flat. Okay, so about that much should be plenty, and it will squeeze out and spread out to all the edges. You just want a dot in the center. Some people like to spread it completely across the whole thing. If you do spread it flat and smear it across the whole thing, I recommend after doing that, put a dot in the center. That way it will push any air bubbles out to the outside edges. Right? Anyways, let's go ahead now and put the heatsink back in. Since we have this open, I'm going to try and brush the inside edges of the heatsink a little bit. It's not really dirty, but might as well. Alright, I think the customer kind of like dented up the fins on that. Like this side's fine, but the other side's pretty bad. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and just drop this back into place. Just get it lined back up. Make sure this goes underneath the wireless antennas. Okay. Carefully lower this back down. Make sure the screw holes line up. Alright, and we're gonna go ahead and put these first. They aren't numbered. Normally they are. So because of that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start here. I'm going to twist it till I hear a click and then go 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to do the one right across diagonal from it. Same thing. Click 1, 2, 3. Okay. Then we're going to go over to this one over here. Click 1, 2, 3. We're not tightening these all the way down yet. All right. Over here. Click 1, 2, 3. Okay. And do this one down here. Click 1, 2, 3. Alright, this one up here. Click 1, 2, 3. This one here. Click 1, 2, 3. And then this one. Click 1, 2, 3. Alright, we're going to go back here. 1, 2, 3. 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 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay, tighten that all the way down. Tighten that all the way down. Now we're just going to tighten them all the way down as we go. Okay. And the spring will slowly apply pressure as the paste moves around. And then it should be good to go. All right. So we're going to do that. We got this one screw that was up here. We're going to put that back in. Okay. We got this screw that was down here. We'll put that back in. Okay, we got this screw that was up here. Put that back in. Make sure not to smash the wireless antennas when doing that. Alright, there we go. Now we got this that we're going to have to put back down. Make sure to put this little cable in first. Okay, so this latch needs to be up. Get that cable in, and then once it's in, slide that latch over. Oh, looks a little bit crooked. Okay, there you go. You can see just the white line. Let me see if I can zoom in a bit. So you can just see the white line kind of past that plastic piece. That's how it should be. You got this cable. We're going to get that in. Make sure the latch is up. Okay, I'm going to use this latch to help pull it in. Okay, and then click that down. All right. Now we're going to go ahead and push this tape back down. All right. What else do we got here? We got the battery, the SSD. Okay, let's go ahead and put the battery at the bottom first. Okay. So we're going to take the battery and we're just going to drop it back into place. Okay, it's kind of not quite fitting here. It's like it's rubbing up against the motherboard because it's expanded too much. All right, be careful with the pins, these little metal things. You don't want to scrape the board. So we put in the front, this side first, and then we lowered it down. All right, let's go ahead and get these screws back in. So we have this one over here. Okay, then we got the 4 at the bottom. Yeah, these screws, I don't think they even go in right because of the misaligned pins here. It's kind of going in crooked. I don't know if it can be aligned properly to fix that issue. Let's try. No, it doesn't move at all. Yeah, no, the battery won't even slide a tiny bit over. I don't know if I can somehow make it go straight down. Okay, I think that's better. Yeah. Alright, right now the battery's not connected yet. We just put it back into the slot. I'm gonna have to figure out how to put the SSD back in because they did some weird thing to do it. Alright, and then the last one here. Okay, so we got the SSDs. So we had this one at the bottom. I don't know what this latch is, but it's up. I'm gonna push that back down. Okay, we're gonna get that in. Make sure it's in that little notch there so it doesn't move around. Then we're gonna get this one in. Okay, and then push that in. All right. So I don't know why they did this. This SSD, like they're stacked together, they're gonna run super hot. That's bad. But that's how they designed it, so I don't know. All right, and we got this piece here. Okay, screw was there. I don't know what this piece is for, because this has no need to be in there. Is this on here somehow? No. I don't know how this was in there. Give me a second. I'm going to see if I can find it in my video. Alright, so I don't know. They just did this weird, not really. Okay, so this piece, they just had it this way. Again, I don't think this is how any computer's actually going to be. They just modified it to be like that. Alright, then we got this piece that kind of just goes, I guess, under here. So this piece basically was just sandwiching the two. So this goes here, and then this goes down like that, and then this piece was just sitting on top. So nothing's really pushing this SSD in place. This one's just sitting on top like that to hold it all down. And oops, I need to switch back to the J0 or PH0. This weird custom bracket. Uh-oh, it's not going in. Did not line it up right. Come on, there we go. Okay, so that was just holding it on like that. Alright, and what else? Now we just got to get the bottom cover back on, I believe. Oh yeah, don't forget to reconnect the battery. Right. Just line it back up and then push it down. This is going to be a little tricky. It's not even like aligned right. This is going to be tricky. It's not aligned right. Let me turn it around upside down so it's easier for me to see. And how did they? What? I don't know. Huh. Looks like it should be shoved over a bit, but it's not going back in. There we go. Okay. So batteries reconnected there. Weird, it doesn't like line up nicely. It's like at a weird angle, but I don't know. It's snapped in now. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and get the bottom cover back on. Zoom out a bit more. Okay. All right, so we'll get this back on there. Switch back over to the T5 Torx 5 screwdriver. And because the case doesn't have any clips or anything to line it up, I'm just going to loosely fit the screws first to make sure everything lines up, and then we'll go all the way around and tighten them all down. Alright, and that's pretty much all there is to it. Hopefully this video helped you guys out. If it did, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. And if it helped you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. If you can't help out that way, it would help a lot if you could watch a few of my other videos and then like and comment on those as well, because that's what the algorithm likes to see. But yeah, other than that, you're welcome to stay till I get all these screws back in. I'm going to plug it in and then power it on and see what shows up. We'll see if it even powers up on just the battery alone, because again, that battery looked pretty bad and the connector didn't look good either. So we'll see what's going on here in a bit. Alright, tighten all these down. We should be good to go. Screw. Alright, let's go ahead and power this thing up and see what we got. this over. And power button. Nothing. Okay, let's plug in their charger then. Give me a second, let me go grab that, and I'll be back. Alright, I'm back. Let's go ahead and plug this thing in. I probably should have tested it before I started opening it, because I don't even know if it turned on, but let's see. Okay, I do see the keyboard lighting up. It's green. Let's turn off this light. Oh, there we go. You can see the Razer thing, and it's loading. So that's pretty much it. Hopefully this video helped you guys out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Alright, let's drop this. Bye. Yeah, so it doesn't look like it really helped. You can see the temperatures are running pretty high. Still like 130, 140, 150, 160 F. And it said it hit around 200 something at some point. So yeah, it seems like something else is wrong with it that caused it to have this issue. Not sure what else to work on because I don't do those small component level repairs on motherboards. I might hand it over to my partner and see if they can figure out what's going on. Anyways, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.